Welcome back, everybody, to the YouTube channel Running It Back's coverage of the 2025 Tour de France. Talking stage 18 today. I'm your host, Patrick Ramirez, stand-up comedian, lifelong cyclist, and covering every single stage of this tour with you. We got a lot to discuss as usual. We're going to pack it all in. I keep it funny. I keep it light. If you're new to the channel, please give it a like or give it a subscribe even to this channel. You can check out my other stuff on there too. Stand-up comedy, the movie series as well, my interview series, all that stuff is on the channel. But today, we're talking tour. We've talked tour all month. So today was stage 18, 171 kilometers, won by Jaco Alula's Ben O'Connor, who looked really good today, had the day, had the stage of his life. The team needed it. He needed it. If you watched the Netflix series Unchained from, I think it was last year, he got beat up in the series too, maybe unfairly. But today was his day. He looked great. So let's start off like we do every single stage with headlines of the stage. And the headline, the big one, of course, is Ben O'Connor is our winner. Headline number 2, fun stage. Same result, though. Tadej Pogačar, Jonas Wiggo. And last headline, Oscar only, Florian Lipowitz, and even Roglic a little bit today, in it for a good ride. The battle for third continues. So let's start with the big headline of the day. Ben O'Connor wins the stage. We had another breakaway, stay away and win the stage today. And I have to admit, when this final climb started and Ben O'Connor was away, I didn't think he was going to stay away. Seemed like he was riding really hard at the base. They did the close-up of his gears, you know, turning while he was at the base of the climb and he was still in the big ring. And I was like, oh, wow, he's pushing really hard. He should blow up any time now. It's going to be pretty quick. And the guy stayed away. He really gutted it out. That's what's so great about this tour, even though the GC has been pretty uneventful. Just we've had all these stories day in, day out of a breakaway trying to get away or a breakaway trying to get established or someone trying to hang on to a mountain stage. Someone trying to get green sprint points. A great stage today. That was really fun. The stage looked really hard. It was labeled as the hardest stage of the race, too. So that was really interesting. And we saw a lot of digging to be in that group. Also, as Pogačar and Jonas are reeling in riders from the breakaway up the climb, all the riders try their best to kind of stay with them for just a little bit, just to kind of touch the greats of this tour this year. And they got everybody except Ben O'Connor. Ben O'Connor gets the win. Not many teams have won stages in this tour. It's been a lot of UAE. It's been a lot of Soudal. And Jaco Alula was one of them. This was their first win of the race. Next headline. Fun stage, same result. So the stage was fun, yes. But same result. Pogačar comes in a few seconds ahead of Jonas. Jonas tries these attacks on the climb. Nothing works. Not even close to working. They went on the attack and were active early in the stage. That's true, but it was the same result. And that was the same strategy over and over and over again. And finally, on the move, they say it today, like, why is this your same strategy day in, day out? Do you expect different results by doing the same thing? I was like, all right, we'll attack them on the climb before. We could isolate them. But all you're really doing is isolating yourself, too. It doesn't matter if the road is uphill. There's nothing you can do from a strategy point of view. And it showed today again. You can't do anything against this guy. He's too strong. So unless there's some strategy I don't know about, trying to attack him on an uphill is not going to work. It's never going to work unless he has a bad day. You're not on this guy's level. You're trying to go blow for blow with them. You're trying to go shot for shot with Michael Jordan. And you're saying like, okay, well, this time we're going to shoot first. Okay, well, he'll make the shot. We'll go second. None of this is going to work, guys. Then I read this, that Tadej Pogačar did an average of 5.5 watts per kilogram up that last climb. And if you look at Pogačar's numbers, he's kind of in that 7 range for most of these climbs. So if he did 5.5 up the climb today, like he was basically just riding an easy tempo for himself. I don't know if this is true. This is unconfirmed. But I read that as well. So 5.5, 3 weeks of race, and they still got second place. The guy's on cruise control, if that's the case. Oh, I read this too before the last headline. Apparently, Pogačar crashed into the Visma team car before the stage started. He blamed it on kind of a brake check, but in a laughing way. So no hard feelings, but it's the only way Pogačar is going to lose this race is if something happens outside the race. Crashing into a team car, flat tire from the team bus, bad hotel reservations, loses his key card, can't get out of the hotel room. So that was weird. I'm glad nothing bad happened to that. We still got a few days to go. Conspiracy Pat keeps thinking down this road. Something weird might happen. Maybe like a James Bond villain takes over as chef for the UAE team, cooks up some bad pasta, puts Pogačar in some sort of weird stomach pains for the next 48 hours, has to quit the race, or has to ride the race and he can't hang. Last headline, Oscar only, Florian Lipowitz, and even Roglic in for a good ride today. But look at this battle for third now. This is a race we should be watching. Oscar only and Florian Lipowitz are battling for third, and they're only 22 seconds apart. Oscar only had a great day today. Lipowitz fought really hard today too. So that should be the ride we should all be focusing on and watching. So a little more camera time to that. As soon as Pogačar and Tadej, or as soon as Tadej and Jonas separate themselves, you can fine, keep a camera on there, but not necessary. Keep it on only, or keep it on Lipowitz. Let's see who's got what. Let's see that race. That is so close. And that's what we can watch now. Because let's face it, both of these guys, not a lot of talk about both these names before the tour even started. And here they are. One of them is going to be on the podium. Not to mention, Kevin Vogelon is in the top 10. We've got Primož Roglic did a pretty good ride today. Rode really hard, mixed it up with some good breakaway attempts. Not a lot of help to Lipowitz, though. We'll talk about that. But these lower placings, like third, is now become the story of the tour. We need to focus on that broadcasting. Because we've seen Jonas's strategy for 2.5 weeks now, and it ain't working. All right, so moving on, next segment of the show is called the USA Report. So let's track down all the USA riders today. Not super active in breakaways like in the past, although Jorgensen was in a break, did some help today. Sepp Kuss had a great ride today, did some help. So Kuss was the highest place. He got 10th. Jorgensen got 25th. Quinn Simmons, 41st. Nielsen Palast, 46th. And Will Barta, 93. But look, they're all in. They're all safe. They're all good for tomorrow. So I guess you can say no news is good news for the USA Report. Although Sepp Kuss, a lot of work, a lot of riding on the front. And Jorgensen, good riding today as well. We haven't seen that one Jorgensen attack or get in the breakaway like we were sort of hoping when he fell out of the GC that one day. I think he's really tired. I think everybody in the peloton has some form of respiratory problem at this point too. Probably everybody's coughing. Everybody's got the raspy tongue. So it's a tired peloton, and this race has not been easy either. Every day from the gun, something has been happening. What's the easiest day of this whole race? I can't even think of one off the top of my head. So moving on, now we got winners and losers of the stage today. So I got a few winners. Let's go with winners of the stage. How about Jaco Alula? Had not had a stage win this whole tour. Groenewegen was on their team. Has not done anything this whole tour. Supposed to be a sprinter. He's not even in these sprints. Kind of a smaller team as well. And they get the win today. Big win for them. They needed it. Cycling is so difficult from a team perspective because you need sponsors. You need money coming in because there's no such thing as ticket sales. There's no such thing as buying the jerseys and the team gets the money. There's no advertising. It's just money in, money out. And I believe it was one of the hosts on The Move today floated the idea of what if someone just started their own cycling league and just sold franchises like the NFL or NBA. And you could put some rules in there to make it competitive, like a salary cap. But basically, if you had franchise or teams, you wouldn't have to constantly be looking for a sponsor every 1 to 3 years. And your teams wouldn't be changing names every year either. Like you give the fans, you give people a chance to grow and live and build roots with each team. People say like, what's your favorite team? You could say, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because that's where I grew up. I like the Dallas Cowboys. Well, what if the Dallas Cowboys changed their name every single year? Why would you would not follow them the same way like you do with NBA and NFL teams. And that's how cycling is. We kind of follow riders, not teams. No one ever says, what's your favorite team in cycling? We never say that. We go by riders. So give Jaco Lula some props today. Maybe this helps him get a sponsorship, more sponsorship for the rest of the season or next year, so he can keep these good times going. But as we've seen, many big teams fold too. So it's a very fickle world, that of professional cycling. Also, Jaco Lula was some other team 2 years ago, so I don't even remember. Another winner of the day, Racing for Third. Like I said, this is now the race to watch. Racing for Third, 22 seconds separates it. Oscar only on team, Team Picnic? Never heard of it. Didn't even hear of him before the race. And he is fighting for third along with Florian Lipowitz. And this is now got to be the main coverage. If you're Peacock or covering the race, cameras on these guys. We need to learn more about them as well. So Racing for Third is now a big winner in this stage. Here's a winner. As I'm listening to more and more shows and I'm looking at the remaining stages. How about the upcoming last stage of this tour, stage 21? It's not the regular Champs-Élysées type of Sprinters Fest parade loop. It's different. It's similar to the Olympics road race course. And I took a look at it, and here's the makeup for stage 21. There's a Cat 4 climb. There's another Cat 4 climb. Then there's an intermediate sprint. And then there's 3 Cat 4 climbs. So this is going to be kind of a hard classic-y type of stage where this isn't just be parade and champagne. Like Cat 4 climb to start out with, like, are the teams even going to do like the pictures where they all put their arms on each other and toast the champagne and kind of fuck around? I don't think they're going to do that. And also, if you're a Cofidis or a team that's got no wins in this tour so far, is a breakaway possible? Are the teams going to do the usual, like, hey, let's not race till we get to the base of the climb? They may institute something like that. So looking forward to stage 21 in a different way this year. That's a winner in my mind too. So if we got winners, of course we need some losers. First loser of the day. How about Primož Roglič for not really helping Lipowitz today? Not sure what the plan was there, but Primož not the best track record of helping teammates. Lipowitz had an odd stage today, although a really good stage, but an odd stage because he got dropped on the climb before last, descended, never got back. He kind of did the whole last 30 Ks on his own. So he had a really tough ride today where if it was planned differently, I think he would have done something different. But he's strong. Look how he didn't let it crack him or affect him. He's strong. He rode that climb well. Next loser of the day. There's a point during the broadcast where they listen in on the team radio, and I believe this was Visma's radio feed. There's a point where they're riding the front. They're riding some of the downhill, I believe. So it's like Jorgensen and Kuss setting tempo on the downhill. And the team radio comes on and goes, "Good job, boys. Keep the pressure on. Keep it on." I'm like, what pressure are you keeping on? On Pogačar? You're not putting any pressure on him. Riding tempo? I swear these team directors might be useless. I don't know why you would say that other just to encourage them. But logically, what pressure are you keeping on other than on yourself? No idea. I thought that was a loser. The team radios in general are losers of the day to me. Those are never interesting. I always think they're going to be better than they are. And one more loser of the day. If you listen to The Move today on Peacock, you heard Wiggo, Bradley Wiggins, describe something and got a little reaction out of Lance because, when it's on Peacock, they're a little mindful of their language. So Bradley Wiggins, I think he's talking about third place or Oscar only, and he says something like, the race for third is up for grabs. Oscar only is balls deep in that. And Lance goes, oh. Because he could have said, is going, all out, balls out, whatever. But he went balls deep. And Lance kind of knew it right away. So being on Peacock, being on a national broadcast, the language thing is a little tricky, and I don't like Wiggo being stifled. I don't like Lance being stifled. But Lance is cognizant of language. Bradley Wiggins, not so much. Language in George Hincapie, I don't think is even in him. I don't think he would say anything remotely vulgar or offensive. But Wiggins would. And he said balls deep. Somebody was balls deep into it. So I'm going to give that a loser of the day, even though I enjoyed it, thought it was funny. Next segment of the show, this one's called Media GC, where if you're new to the show, this is where I rank the YouTube views from 3 prominent YouTube shows covering the race, and I rank them by their number of views. So let's talk. We got Media GC today on The Move, the Lance Armstrong, George Hincapie, Bradley Wiggins YouTube show, 33K. The Lanterne Rouge goes on live right after every stage, 15K. And the Butterfly Effect with Chris Horner in the corner of his house, 39K. So the belt has changed. The Butterfly Effect wins the day for viewership with 39K. Look at these numbers, though. Way down. Everybody was down in numbers from yesterday's broadcast. I think it's coming to the end of the tour. The GC is pretty much decided. Nothing that huge happened in it. So viewership was a little down there. Interesting. So be curious what those numbers are tomorrow if they continue on the downward trend, because today was a bit of the same type of stage. So, also interesting, if you listen to my show yesterday, I had a weird problem with some of Trek's tactics yesterday. I brought up a screenshot, and I had to listen to Horner see if he saw what I saw. And he could not have more of an opposite reaction. He said everybody on Trek rode great, rode brilliant. So either I missed it or I read the graphic wrong. I just would like an explanation of what was going on there. Why was Trek chasing at the front when their sprinter, Jonathan Milan, was off the back? I guess we'll never know. It's just one of those things like global warming. Okay, so that brings us to the preview for tomorrow's stage. It's stage 19. It is 126 kilometers. Check this out for the stage makeup. We got the intermediate sprint at 8 kilometers in. This is a quick one. Then we got a category 2, a category 1, a beyond category, a category 2, and another beyond category. So this looks like a really hard stage too. So this is, to me, this is all about third place. Who cares about first and second anymore? Pogacar's doing 5.5 watts per kilogram in his sleep up climbs now. We don't need to watch him anymore. Let's find out who's hanging in the group to help Oscar only. Let's find out what the Roglic role is with Florian Lipowitz. Let's see if anybody attacks the other guy, because if the goal is just a drag race to follow Pogacar and Jonas, then you just follow until you can't follow anymore and hope the guy in fourth also couldn't follow. Though, there's usually no attacking or anything like that. But say who's in fourth? I think Only is in fourth. Say he attacks before it gets hard on the base of one of these climbs. Florian and Lipowitz has to chase, that would be interesting racing. So I like this stage for the third place battle. So let's hope it's another good one. If the intermediate sprint is at 8Ks, then theoretically, if I'm trying to get in a break, you go after that sprint. You go over the top. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right or not. This tour is very unpredictable. So we still got a couple stages to go, everybody. The tour has been great. It's been surprising. It's been tense. Let's see what the rest of it has in store, because we are rounding the corner to finish this up. And then that means to the women's tour next. I believe it's 8 or 9 days. Going to be really good. We talked about Dami's tweet a couple days ago to Pogačar. What kind of attitude is she going to have? She's on a new team. Who's going to challenge her? Can Niewiadoma defend her jersey? Surprise. What? So much to discuss. So, everybody, great stage today. Another fun one. Everybody in the USA is still hanging in. Pogačar's going to win this tour. Jonas is going to do the same thing. But what about third? We'll see you tomorrow. Stage 19. Get ready to sprint at 8K and then climb up some mountains. Have a good night. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. All my stuff is there. And stay on the road, everybody. Be safe. See you tomorrow.